Now, over on Smackdown, very good main event between Charlotte Flair and Naomi for the Smackdown Women's Championship. Those two ladies went out there. They killed it on Friday night. They had people buying into those near falls like they thought Naomi was walking out of there with the title. And that's not an easy thing to do. Because logically, you should look at where we are here, this close to WrestleMania, and you should know that Naomi and nobody else is taking that title away from Charlotte before she steps in the ring with Ronda Rousey. But when you can make people forget, when the match is so good and the near falls are so good that you can make people forget, even for a split second, though that's right, that's the sign of a great match right there. And those two women went out there and had a great match on Friday night. So kudos to both of them for it. And Naomi, she doesn't get the kind of opportunities that Charlotte does. Not too many women, regardless of who they are, get the kind of opportunities that Charlotte does because, of who she is and how long she's been around for and the way they've always positioned her as the greatest of all time and everything. But Naomi went out there and she made the most of the opportunity that she was given. And it's clear to me that they are going to extend this out until WrestleMania. And look, if they don't put Naomi in a singles match at WrestleMania, then, these people are fucking morons. Because it may not be a championship match, but for as long as this thing has carried on with Sonya Deville, if it's still going on, and here we are in the middle of February, at this point, you build to WrestleMania, you do the singles match between her and Sonya. You could add the stipulation that Sonya, if she doesn't win that match, she's out of a position of authority. She's no longer, I can't even call her the GM, whatever the hell you call her. And she just goes back to being a wrestler. That's the ultimate revenge that Naomi could get, is to eliminate Sonya in a position of authority in this company. That would seem to be the logical destination for this. But you give Naomi a singles match. Don't put her in a battle royal. Don't put her in some multi-woman match. You've dragged this thing out for this long. The people want to see this woman succeed. They like her. They want to see her do well. I think it would get a great reaction after all these months if you go to WrestleMania and she's the one to put down Sonya Deville. That has to be the final destination for this feud, and it has to be a singles match on one of the two nights of WrestleMania. You've got 2 nights. There's no reason not to do that match. Los Lotharios, they beat the New Day. This was a rematch from the week before when the New Day beat them. That was a very good match. This match was good, not as good, but it was still a pretty good match. And so now they need to do a rubber match. And I don't mind seeing them square off for a third time because the first 2 were really good. The rest of the show is a complete waste of time. I'm not even going to get into it. If you want the full recap, it's up on YouTube. I pushed the audio out already. I'm not getting into everything else that happened on that show. What I will get into briefly here, though, is the Smackdown that was taped immediately after the show went off the air on Friday night. So if you do not want to know any spoilers about this week's episode of Smackdown, which was taped ahead of time because they're going to have to be traveling out to Saudi Arabia on Friday, then this is your warning. Skip ahead by a couple of minutes here because I'm going to get into some spoilers here. Sami Zayn has been waiting quite a while to get his Intercontinental Championship match against Shinsuke Nakamura. Nakamura had missed some time. He had a hand injury. He was cleared several weeks ago. And so they did the match on the second taping on Friday night. And we do indeed have a new Intercontinental Champion. In fact, WWE already spoiled that. I don't even know why I do a better job of protecting these spoilers than they do. They went on their social media and they already spoiled the fact that there was a title change at the tapings on Friday night. Sami Zayn did beat Shinsuke Nakamura, as he should have, as I've been saying he should, because there's no reason to keep that title on Nakamura anymore. They pretty much screwed the pooch on that one. Sami, at least, I enjoy his work. I think he's very entertaining in the role that he's in. He's been getting a lot of television time every week consistently. And so now he has his Intercontinental title back. But they are still teasing something between him and Johnny Knoxville, even though the Royal Rumble has come and gone. The premiere of the new Jackass movie has come and gone. They had a segment on Friday night showing Johnny Knoxville at a store somewhere holding up a Sami Zayn shirt and throwing it into a wood chipper outside. And Zayn was still talking about Knoxville in his segment on Friday night. And I did see the speculation from, I think it was Meltzer, who says that he thinks we are headed for an Intercontinental title match at WrestleMania between Sami Zayn and Johnny Knoxville. Now, I know Johnny Knoxville got a lot of high marks from people supposedly behind the scenes who thought he was very professional and very respectful of what they do, and he didn't go out there and embarrass himself or anything like that. The celebrity involvement can be hit or miss. And Knoxville was fine. He did fine. I don't know that there's a need to continue to extend this out, but it looks like they're going to do that. And it very well may be that he's going to get a championship match at WrestleMania. Now, is that ridiculous for Johnny Knoxville to go out and challenge for the Intercontinental title? It's no more ridiculous than him being in the Royal Rumble match and challenging for the right to go to the main event of WrestleMania. How is this any more ridiculous than that? It's basically the same thing. I mean, look, the Intercontinental title has not been treated in a serious way for quite some time. I look at it a little bit differently. I accept the Intercontinental title. It is what it is. It isn't what it used to be. And under this regime, it never will be, because they don't give a shit. I look at this as a plus for Sami Zayn. I know some people are going to think I'm just ridiculous for even saying that, but look, Sami just re-signed with the company. Sami has said he re-signed because he's very happy in the current role that he is in on TV. They trust him more on promos. He's getting a lot of television time. And he's going to be in a prominent position at WrestleMania if he is defending his title against a celebrity. He gets a match on the WrestleMania card. That's not the case every year. So I think for him to go in there on night 1 or night 2, whichever night it is, and have a somewhat high-profile match on the card, a title match, regardless of who it's against, is not a bad place for Sami Zayn to be. Unless, of course, Johnny Knoxville actually wins the Intercontinental title. Now, that would be fucking ridiculous. I don't see that happening, but yeah, it does look like we may be headed in that direction. I mean, nothing is confirmed yet. But look, it just goes to show you the level of trust that they have in Sami Zayn. You look at what he was doing on the WrestleMania card last year when he worked Kevin Owens. He was working a program with Logan Paul. He worked with Logan Paul at WrestleMania last year. And now this year he might work with Johnny Knoxville. There's a certain level of trust they have to have in you, I think, to put you in these positions with these celebrities they bring in. And I think it speaks highly of what they think of Sami. I know it might not seem that way because of who they're putting him in the ring with. He's going to have to fucking sell for Johnny Knoxville, who isn't a wrestler. But for Sami Zayn, it's really not a bad place for him to be. And I have just learned to accept that they don't look at the Intercontinental Championship in the way that it used to be featured and positioned on the show. It is sad, but I don't see this as being any more ridiculous than having him in the Royal Rumble match. Because in theory, if he would have won the Royal Rumble match, he would be wrestling Roman Reigns or Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. Now that would be ridiculous. There was also a segment at the tapings. They did a contract signing for a match that has been added to the Elimination Chamber card. It will be Ronda Rousey and Naomi teaming up to take on Charlotte Flair and Sonya Deville. So they had a contract signing, and I saw the same video clips on Twitter that I know a lot of you have probably seen. And if you haven't seen it, boy, you have to go take a look at this. It's only about 4 or 5 seconds long. But there was a moment in this contract signing where Ronda Rousey was to have grabbed Charlotte, reached over the table and grabbed Charlotte by the hair and slam her face down into the table. And that's what Ronda did, but there was obviously a miscue here, because the way that Charlotte sold this looked completely ridiculous. I mean, this looked awful. Charlotte did not make Ronda look good at all with this move. And I would like to just chalk it up to a mistimed spot. I would like to chalk it up to just a simple botch. And Charlotte doesn't want to go out there and make her segments look this terrible. But boy, did this not look good. Good luck to them. They're going to have to get creative with how they air this on the show on Friday night. Hopefully not a sign of how their match at WrestleMania is going to go.